Hello and welcome. Let's talk about something we all do, but rarely understand: procrastination. You have an important task. You know you should start. But instead, you find yourself cleaning the entire house, scrolling through your phone, or doing anything else but that one thing. Later, you feel guilty and call yourself lazy. But what if I told you that procrastination has almost nothing to do with laziness? Laziness is a state of apathy, an unwillingness to act. Procrastination, on the other hand, is an active process. You are choosing to do something else, not because you want to, but because you are avoiding the discomfort of the main task. Think of it like this: your brain is treating the task as a threat. This isn't a logical threat, like a tiger chasing you, but an emotional one. The task might make you feel anxious, bored, insecure, or overwhelmed. Your brain's primitive parts, which are designed to seek pleasure and avoid pain, kick in. They see the task as pain and the distraction as pleasure. So, you escape to the distraction for immediate relief. This is the core of the procrastination cycle. It's an emotional regulation problem. We are trying to manage our negative feelings about a task by avoiding it. We trade the future stress of a looming deadline for the present peace of a temporary escape. The problem is, this peace is an illusion. The threat doesn't go away, it just grows larger in the shadows. Understanding that procrastination is an emotional, not a moral, failure is the first and most crucial step to overcoming it. It's not that you are a bad or incompetent person, you are just using a strategy that doesn't work to protect yourself from discomfort. So, if it's an emotional battle, who are the fighters? In one corner, we have a very powerful, ancient part of your brain that loves instant gratification. This is the part that wants what feels good now. It's the voice that says, one more episode won't hurt, or you can always start tomorrow. It's incredibly persuasive because its only job is to make you feel good in this very moment. In the other corner, we have the part of you that thinks about the future. Let's call this part the future you. The future you is the one who wants a good grade, a successful project, a clean house, or a healthy body. The future you understands goals and long-term rewards. The battle between the present self, seeking instant gratification, and the future you, with its long-term plans, is the central conflict of procrastination. And sadly, the present self has a home field advantage. The reward for watching a funny video is immediate and certain. The reward for working on a difficult report is distant and uncertain. To make matters worse, your brain has a hard time connecting with the future you. Psychologists have found that we often see our future selves almost as strangers. When you imagine yourself in a week, stressed and cramming for a deadline, it doesn't feel as real or as urgent as the minor boredom you feel right now. So, you make a decision that betrays the future you, because protecting the present you from a little discomfort feels more important. You are essentially choosing to make your future self suffer to make your present self feel slightly better. Recognizing this internal conflict is key. The goal is not to destroy the part of you that wants comfort, but to learn how to persuade it to cooperate with the future you. Now, let's look at what happens after you give in to procrastination. It creates a cycle that is very hard to break. It starts with a task that triggers a negative emotion. Let's say it's writing an essay. The thought of starting makes you feel anxious. So, you avoid it. You turn to a distraction, like social media. And guess what? You immediately feel better. The anxiety melts away. This is a powerful reward for your brain. It learns that avoiding the essay equals feeling good. But the story doesn't end there. The relief is temporary. While you are distracted, the deadline is getting closer. Sooner or later, the guilt and anxiety come creeping back, often even stronger than before. Now you are not only anxious about the essay, but you are also guilty about wasting time. This increased stress makes the task seem even more monstrous and intimidating. So, what do? You seek more distraction to escape these even worse feelings. This is the cycle: negative emotion avoidance temporary relief greater negative emotion more avoidance. Eventually, you reach a point of such high pressure, usually right before the deadline, that the fear of failure finally becomes greater than the fear of starting. This is the panic monster waking up. In a frantic, stressful, last-minute rush, you complete the task. You might even get it done reasonably well. And this is the most dangerous part of the cycle: it reinforces the behavior. Your brain thinks, "See? I work well under pressure. It all worked out." It forgets the days of mental anguish and only remembers the successful last-minute save. This teaches you that procrastination is a viable strategy, locking the cycle in place for the next task. You become trapped in a loop of stress and relief that is exhausting and unproductive. To break the cycle, we need to stop the first domino from falling. We need to make the task feel less scary and overwhelming. The biggest reason we procrastinate is that a task feels too big, too vague, or too difficult. Your brain looks at it and shuts down. So, the solution is to make it so small and easy that your brain has no reason to resist. The most powerful technique for this is called chunking or breaking it down. Don't think, "I need to write a 10-page report." That is a mountain. Instead, break it into the smallest possible steps. Step 1, open a new document. Step 2, write the title. Step 3, write 3 bullet points for the introduction. See how different that feels? These are steps so small that they require almost no mental effort. You can't feel intimidated by write the title. Another powerful method is the 5-minute rule. You simply promise yourself that you will work on the task for just 5 minutes. That's all. Anyone can do 5 minutes. The magic of this rule is that once you start, the initial resistance often disappears. The hardest part is almost always the act of starting. After 5 minutes, you might find yourself thinking, "Well, I've already started, I might as well finish this first small part." You are tricking your present self into beginning by making the commitment incredibly small. The goal is not to finish the task, the goal is only to start. By removing the pressure to achieve a huge outcome, you make it safe for your brain to engage. You are showing it, "Look, this isn't so dangerous after all." Your willpower is a limited resource. It's like a muscle that gets tired. If you are constantly fighting against temptations, you will eventually lose. A much smarter strategy is to change your environment so you don't have to use so much willpower in the first place. Think of your willpower as a precious knight. You shouldn't send him out to fight every little distraction. Instead, build a castle wall to keep the distractions out. This means being proactive about your triggers. If your phone is your biggest distraction, then the solution is not to rely on trying harder to not pick it up. The solution is to physically put it in another room while you work. If you procrastinate by watching television, unplug the cord and put it in a closet for a few hours. Out of sight really is out of mind. You are making the desired behavior, working, easy and the undesired behavior, procrastinating, difficult. On the flip side, you can also design your environment to make starting easy. Create a dedicated, clean workspace that you only use for work. Have all your materials ready before you begin. You can even use apps and website blockers to prevent you from accessing distracting sites during your work sessions. This isn't cheating, it's being smart. You are acknowledging that your present self is easily tempted and you are creating a structure that protects your future you. By designing your environment, you are not fighting against yourself, you are setting up a system that helps you succeed automatically, preserving your mental energy for the task itself. We've talked about practical strategies, but the most profound change happens in your mind. For many of us, the inner voice that speaks after we procrastinate is harsh and critical. Why are you so lazy? You never follow through. You're such a failure. This voice of self-judgment is not helping. In fact, it's making the problem much, much worse. Remember, procrastination is rooted in negative emotions. When you criticize yourself for procrastinating, you are adding more negative emotion, shame and self-hatred onto the original pile. This makes the next task even more intimidating. Why would you want to approach something that makes you feel like a failure? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The antidote to this is self-compassion. Self-compassion is not about letting yourself off the hook, it's about treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. When you procrastinate, instead of yelling at yourself, try a different approach. Acknowledge the feeling, okay, I'm really avoiding this task. I'm feeling anxious about it. Then, offer yourself understanding, it's normal to feel this way. This is a challenging project. Finally, remind yourself of your common humanity. Everyone struggles with procrastination sometimes. I am not alone in this. This simple shift from judgment to kindness reduces the emotional storm around the task. It makes it safe to try again, to be imperfect, and to start small without the weight of self-criticism. By forgiving your past self for procrastinating, you free your present self to begin. This is how you break the cycle for good, not with punishment, but with patience and understanding.